Okay, we are red is on.
At this time, I'd like to open the meeting of August 30th, 2016. Let the record show all but John Scanlon is here, and he is on his way. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into non-public for RSA 91A:3, the hiring personnel.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
We are red is on. I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session.
It was Eric that wanted to look.
Personnel permanently.
Thank you. Second. Yes, second. You got it. Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Okay. So that was my other question on this. Then the three options, did everybody look at that?
Yes.
I think did he want to go with Franklin Savings Bank?
I would say yes, because it's a cheaper alternative.
Not only that, but we can pay it. If we end up with money left over at the end of the year on some of these lines, we can pay it in cash and save the lease.
Yes.
This is almost the same as buying it outright.
I'm not really liking the repossessing part of it, though. Not that I think we'd ever get there, but if the Budget Committee did happen to zero it out, I don't think they would, because they're smart enough to know the ramifications.
Yeah.
However, I have seen strange things happen.
Well, we can still find the money in the budget, I think, because we've got some in the equipment line, and we've got lots of other potential areas where we got.
So the first question I have is on the front. Up here, you've got 46,274. Is it supposed to be 45,274?
Yes. Is it? 6? And
Or did you add wrong under the breakdown?
I think it's 45.
Because on the back page, under tax exempt lease, it's 45,274.
Yeah, I didn't.
And are you suggesting we go with Franklin Savings Bank? Okay, I'm really not warm and fuzzy about the repossessing part of it.
Well,
And we were just discussing that
that's
likelihood.
my presumption as to the recourse.
But then, so they wouldn't even consider a non-appropriation clause in there.
Well, it's not a lease, so,
It's a loan.
So,
It's a loan.
so here's the thing, if we
It's like a payment.
we're gonna obligate ourselves to this vehicle.
yes.
Then it's really not, okay, then we're gonna be obligated to pay it whether the Budget Committee zeroes it out or not. Okay,
There's no prepayment penalty, so,
nice.
you know, we did this with the Peterbilt truck in 2006, I think it was, yeah.
Is this amount total finance, is this the amount after we take the money that we raised and appropriated out of the total?
Essentially, yes, out of the total finance, that, for Franklin Savings Bank, that is the 45,274 less 15%, which would come out.
No, we raised and appropriated a chunk of money. Where is that in this?
6,000.
That's in the equipment purchase line.
Okay, so this 45,274 reflects minus 6,000?
Yes, 6,800, which is the down payment. So the leases don't require a down payment. The financing does. To get the 2.85% for 3 years requires a 15% down payment, which is 68. So that's
Plus, we have money in the detail fund that can go against
it's
this.
just under 6,800. Yes. So what I would recommend doing is taking the down payment out of the operating account and making the payments out of the detail fund.
And if we have money left over at the end of the year, paying it off.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then I guess I was looking at this wrong. Because there's the cost of the car, there's the cost of that. That hasn't changed, and the total is the same. Operating budget was 6,000. I didn't realize that, oh no, where's the quote from AutoServe?
27,463.
And the upfitting was 11,610, and the technology was 6,201.
Correct.
Well, that reflects a gross, not
Yes.
the, after you minus the 6,000.
Yes.
So this isn't the actual amount we're gonna finance. We're gonna pay them 6,000, right, for the
Yes.
car. The balance is what we're gonna finance.
Maybe I should have said, we're gonna pay interest on $38,483.
Okay.
Total finance, leases, no down payment, purchase, down payment.
Yeah, that's,
So it's,
but we still get that $6,000 even though we're not leasing it.
That's right.
We don't need a down payment. We could reduce this by $6,000 that we're gonna finance.
No, that's going on your first year lease payment, isn't it?
yes.
Thank you.
So the
That's not what it says here on this
if
page.
you look at, well,
But
that's
the
because
lease,
you're not
we
looking
are
at
going-
financing on
right.
that page. You're looking at just leasing on that page.
Right.
So if I may, maybe an easier way to look at it is where it shows the column of interest and fees. Those interest and fees are generated off of the amount that we're borrowing.
Yes,
So because we're paying a down
not
payment
$6,000.
with the finance piece, we're borrowing less, if you will.
Okay, is that for the total duration of the loan?
Right.
Yeah, that's over the
Okay,
life.
that's not $6,000, that's only
Well,
1,829
that's
for
the
Frank.
interest that we'll pay. So this allows you to compare the costs of the three. So the first
trying
option is going to cost us $4,506 or $8, whatever it is. You can't see without the lights. For over those 3 years. The second one is 18 and change, and the third one is 26. So what I was trying to demonstrate was these, based on these choices, this is what it costs on the far right-hand side. This is the cost to borrow that money.
Well, that's not $6,000.
No. No, we're-
Why are you hung up on 6,000?
Because I want to reduce the cost to reduce the interest.
Cost of what?
The car.
I'm not following you with the $6,000.
The 6,000
Okay.
is the lease, part of your lease payment, Catherine.
Okay, we're not leasing this, we're talking
That's
about,
why it's 38 instead of 45.
Because we paid $6,000.
6791 to
There you
be
go.
exact. 15% of the 25,274.
That's the price
You
of the
want
car
page
without the 6,000. That's the whole price, because we don't have it. This is minus the 6,000 because that we're putting the 6,000 down as a down payment.
Yeah.
That's what we're financing.
That's why
And
it
that's
says
what
requires
the interest
15%
is.
down.
Right.
so you did read it, just say I already did. That was the answer to my question, is I already did.
I would have found that answer eventually, but it was elusive. So you're looking at interest rates from 2.85, 3.49, and 5.2%. So if we want to maintain a lease, I would recommend going with the third option. If we're okay with financing, I would go with the second option.
I want to do the cheapest.
That would be the
So
second.
I'd make a motion, we go with Franklin Savings Bank.
Second, third. For the sake of discussion.
Discussion, anyone? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll keep a close eye.
Guess I won't ask
All
that
those
question. I'll ask you tomorrow.
I'll keep a close eye on at the end of the year and make sure that, if
We
we
have
have an
money,
opportunity
right,
to
pay it down.
pay it down, we will. May I move on to the other item that was,
Yep.
I was hoping to talk about? So, the chief and I had met with the Energy Emergency Management Performance Grant people
Yep.
back, I think it was the end of last year, and we identified some opportunities. The highest priority for me at the time was getting a generator for the PD because
We have one.
not one that automatically kicks on. So we are the emergency operations center for this region. And we did have an occasion where I had to run over there and take down all the servers, the phone system, after a period of time. It had been running for some time after the electricity went out, but the batteries will only last so long on our backup systems. So At that point, I had taken everything down, but Public Works had brought up the generator, and so there was maybe a matter of, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours that we were without equipment.
Why would we have been that long without a generator if the power was down and that's our emergency operations center?
Well,
Is that how long it took Public Works to get it there?
I'd say it was at least a couple hours. I think there was...
That last year?
That was when everything went out. And
They had to change the oil in it.
I went up there, they were trying to work on it. It turned out that there was water in the diesel fuel. I drained it out, I drained out the float balls, primed it, went home and got some diesel fuel out of my Kubota tractor and got it going for 'em.
So isn't this gonna need servicing just as well as that one would be?
No,
Took 2 hours.
because this is the type of system that will run off of natural gas. So
It's gonna be
our
sitting
feed-
outside, stuck to the building,
And they
And there's
kick
no
on-
maintenance.
They kick on automatically. There's no switching that has to be done.
and there's
nothing.
no maintenance. Ice and snow and rain?
I'm sure there's maintenance.
Of course there is.
But not...
We have some natural gas or propane generators in sewer. They still have issues, they'll,
That's
I'm
right.
sure there's some maintenance,
You
but
should get fired up and regular.
but the fact that it kicks on automatically, it's our best choice for having uninterrupted power at the PD, especially when it's, when we're in a situation where we're dependent on for other services. So when we discussed the generator, we identified that there were monies available that we could probably apply for the grant and not be out of pocket much money at all. And as it turns out, we may not be out of pocket any money for these things. So the chief and I reviewed the different things that we'd like to pursue, and I didn't think it made any sense to move forward with the grant people until the board weighed in on what the priorities might be.
your letter A.
Yes.
I think the signboards I'm looking at have as much or more and are half the price.
No, this is not going to cost anything. The only thing,
Well, wait, if they're gonna fund this, can't we fund a cheaper one that has more?
It's very possible, and if there's something like that where we could get 2 for the price of 1, I put the sheet on the back, on the very back page.
not going to,
The way these,
Oh, why do we need this?
well, the way these grants work, well,
What we're gonna do, put it up on,
no, you could put that.
Hill Road?
You could
No,
put that
what,
at the
the
island.
signs?
You could put it at the,
They-
right. you
Yeah.
could do a
I would
lot-
park one at
the
140
camera?
Route 3 when we're not using it.
Right.
When Laconia Road gets shut down, you can put it on, accident ahead,
You
through
can-
traffic,
you can actually-
106 to 140 to 106.
paying for a cell
remotely as
phone.
well.
by the
Yeah.
time they put this message up, the accident will
And
be
you,
cleared.
with this camera too?
It has
Yes.
a camera, and
Right.
also it has a traffic count.
And
all the
it's
other-
cellular control.
It's
Cellular
speed
control,
and
which you need a
traffic
contract
Catherine.
based on
No.
a certain number of
The last
gigabytes.
video.
No, your cell phone.
I know, but by the
will
time they
work with it.
programmed this, got
I know
it,
what
put
you're
it
saying.
up,
We
the
have-
accident would be
we have
cleared.
unlimited- we have
The
unlimited
road was
data.
closed like 5 hours.
No, it
So we
wasn't.
would
Yeah, it
pay
was.
the monthly-
No, it wasn't.
It was mid-afternoon.
It runs us about
I
$40
left
for unlimited
Abe at 8 o'clock and it was still closed. It was 5 to 6 hours.
Was it
was
that
shut
long?
down.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
it was at least that.
Oh, anyway,
You know.
Oh, you were
I
out.
was thinking of the most recent, I know what you're talking
But
about.
the grant that they
Causeway.
talked, the A under here,
Yeah.
because we just purchased the vehicle, the cost of purchasing that vehicle, if they put a trailer hitch on that vehicle, that is the match to the grant, and now we don't have to pay anything.
That's right. That's correct. So, and we have a number of other items that we can use.
And
for-
that's
in terms
what
of
it is, so
technology.
it's a matter of just putting a trailer hitch on the new vehicle, and then we can get this for zero.
The other thing is that they have monies expiring at the end of September, so if there are grants that have already been approved, they have to go through a stringent process when there's first a
You can
quote.
use that at-
So this particular trailer has been through.
No, we
and
have
been
a sign.
approved,
That's
so that
ugly.
It sort of speeds the process along. However, you know, if there's some way that we can leverage it and
Vote
get
it.
more, obviously, we would want to do that. I think the goal is to have two eventually.
I say go forth and get what you can for nothing.
Okay. and
So for
then-
the generator, that doesn't even make sense.
Could I ask a couple questions about the grant?
Yeah.
What is this grant intended for?
Stuff.
Emergency
Management.
Okay. The biggest problem that we had during the emergency was having a place for people to go
Just
and
go.
getting it open. Well, we had to find out where they were and what was. We'd probably,
That's
do we
the
have
chief.
do we have a generator at the Grange, the senior center?
No, they were putting in a grant, they were gonna put in a grant for the generator. Actually, the fire department was going to do that, but I don't know what happened with that.
I
So maybe
think
that would be a better use for this generator.
I think that the biggest problem we have is not putting a sign out with the cellular camera, but having a safe, warm place with electricity where we can bring people to stay warm, cook a meal, and
Yeah.
we
Well, I
could not
was
get
at the
in.
high school during the one event, cooking food for people. Very few people showed up. I don't know why that is, but,
Does the high school have a generator?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
But if I may, the generator would probably only apply for the PD because of the Emergency Operations Center. That would be the only reason. It probably wouldn't apply to any other
So
facility.
the
that we
other
have.
generator
That would
could be
be a s-
used at the...
So we could have two.
The one the
We'll
other one
designate
that we're using now could go
we
to
have
the
one
senior
east and
center.
one west.
But the one that's being used now could go up to the senior
But
center.
that's for the public
too
works
big.
garage.
No, that's at the PD, that's all wired for the PD.
It's wired for the public works garage too.
And the PD.
Yeah.
On Town Hall, isn't it?
We just,
In town hall. It's one size fits all.
well,
But it can't fit everywhere at the same time.
No, you're absolutely right.
So
Right. All right, we gotta get moving.
Okay, all right, then, the only other thing is that with the technology purchases that we've done, not only the quote received for this particular vehicle that you approved, but also I think still one of our servers, the purchase of one of our servers would still apply based on the timeframe. They have a look-back period for which you can use expenditures. And then also the phone system. I think we may be able to get two Patrol PC tablet dock configurations that we could outfit the rest of the front lines with. So
Nice.
that we'd have the same system in the frontline cruisers.
Very nice.
Really, that's, I just didn't, I felt very strongly in talking with the chief that it didn't make any sense for us to go forward with one of these unless the board was in, with general consensus. that
I
these
say
are
yes.
good things.
Just the
I love the
generator.
public safety sign. We've been talking about one of those signs anyway. We can use it for all sorts of things.
the generator that was up there was set up for the portable one that would kick on, because they got that to kick on when they put the power out when we retested it. And they tripped the breaker and automatically started the generator.
The big diesel? Okay, I wasn't aware of that, but
It's got an automatic start, but it's
without it being
diesel.
there, it really doesn't.
The only
The only benefit you'd have with this gas one is you wouldn't have to go buy fuel for it when it ran out in the middle of the night.
Or watered down fuel, or
Well, if it's,
Not only that, but
oil.
Well, there's one other aspect.
one.
I mean, not every single device in the building has a battery backup. That just wouldn't be cost effective. So the servers do, certain key PCs do, like dispatch, things like that. Phone system does, but a number of other systems are going to go out, very shortly after you lose power. So it might even be, depending upon if it's 20 seconds or a minute before that thing takes over. There's no switching at all on the inside.
If there was manual, or it depends how you set it up, I guess.
Yeah, because they, with the kind that we're looking at, it's, they're supposed to be
who's
automated.
gonna spec the size?
Captain Martin,
I think,
get estimates.
have an electrician figure out what our amp draw is.
I would think that would be part of the process, yeah.
I think we should have
Thank you.
an electrician.
I was trying
to figure out how to respond to
that.
And
Remind me,
report
I
on it.
should have an electrician.
As the
Yeah,
gas comes through this end of town,
Yeah,
Yeah, all our buildings are on natural gas.
that's what their heat is.
Yeah, now that you mentioned, I see the bills.
That's right, yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Nice work.
Thanks.
See ya.
All right, so we have a couple more real quick items, I hope?
Yep.
Maybe.
No, hopefully, because we have some very important non-pubs. Very important.
Oh, me?
Yep,
Well, I'm in the middle, so I expect her to start at either
I don't
end.
have anything.
Yeah, one of the things with the pines, somehow it was set up that I was the one that requested for the cameras and
Yep.
the windows and the lock, and it wasn't expressed as the board is just going to make the decision. We tabled it, and we're asking for what they have done that we requested before, and it wasn't what Mr. Scanlon wanted.
So in the future, when you reply to or forward information, questions to the,
It's the Board of Selectmen wants.
it's the Board of Selectmen that wants it, not just one single selectman.
So that-
Because we act as a board, not as a single selectman.
We talked about this document when they came in to meet us. This one hasn't been rewritten. This one has a lot of problems. I've read through some of these, and my question is, who, did they use a template? Did somebody look at these? Their insurance company, somebody?
Private firm, I understand they had a private firm look at them.
Well, I
Okay.
found a newspaper article or something I read somewhere where they were quoted as saying they don't need a license from child care licensing because they're municipal.
Not again.
I saw that in the last week. I don't know if it was in an email or a newspaper article.
Or maybe the newspaper, because I saw
That's,
her that they
we've
were in
already
the
proved
process.
Right, no, I know.
Well, yeah, but I hope they're not falling under that again.
that it was definitely misquoted,
Okay.
because they're aware
The whole
that,
story or something.
you know, it's probably touch and feel.
Everything else there.
Right, all right.
I got a
Catherine.
call from Paul Rushlow today. He will go down and spray the knotweed at the senior center, $125. That also includes a respray. So I thought that was really cheap.
It is really cheap. You know, I was there today, and I'm not real knowledgeable about this, but the knotweed that is there is just dead bamboo things now, right there.
Yeah.
So does he still continue to just spray the bottom of
What
it?
he'll do is monitor that. He said that most of that he got was pretty well gone. But
Okay.
what happens is knotweed, their root system can be as deep as 30 feet and it can go out laterally as much as 50 feet.
Yeah.
That's why it's so invasive and so hard to
You
get.
gotta stay on it.
Oh, yeah, so that's
Because
what he's
this-
doing, so I
There
think we
is some
should,
small growth around the side, but it's so small, I don't know whether it's knotweed or not, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's enough to,
so, it's a pretty cheap price. I think we should tell him to go ahead and do it.
Did he give us a price yet for sidewalks on Main Street?
Oh, he can't do them because it's a license he doesn't have because it's within the state's right-of-way. Even though I told him we own 10 feet out from that, he said because it's so public accessed, he can't spray it. He doesn't have the
Even though
correct
it's town,
license.
Not state right,
Yeah,
okay.
he doesn't have the correct license.
Okay.
I had a resident call
Wait a
today.
minute. Everybody okay with him going up to the senior center and doing that?
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Everybody shook their heads. I had a resident call me from Lockmere area. Just as we spoke on the phone, they were rifling through her recycling. So evidently, that was something they did today. Somebody rode the truck, went through, and they've rejected a lot of containers because she wasn't the last person that called me. It's too bad they didn't let us know they were going to do that because
Mine got empty.
I'm going to tell
We
you,
had 3 tubs and everybody in my neighborhood got empty. She might
no,
have
she was in your
something-
neighborhood, so she didn't get empty.
Well, my
But the
end-
point
my
is-
End of the road.
The point I'm trying to make is that it would have been nice if they called us, or that, I know we don't have a recycling committee, but I suggest that we send out something in the Echo as an insert, along these lines to remind people about how to recycle, because all that was rejected today is going to end up as garbage next week, or Wednesday or Saturday.
Well, and was it indeed garbage?
I'm sure 90% of it wasn't. But the conversation she had with him, and I was actually on the phone, and kind of listening to it, was they rejected her over 3 paper plates because they had a bit of food on them, and she had some market bags in there from the stores that she hadn't knotted up. But this says specifically, I remember they said if you put them in a knot,
Take them if they're knotted.
If they're knotted, you can't.
they said they would,
They take them if they're not.
but on here it says not
The only thing
to.
that they don't like those for is to
Does
get
it say
caught in
that
the
they do?
roads if they're touching
No, but they had told us, they sat here and told us because I asked them, and they said they needed to be knotted so they didn't get caught up in the works. But nevertheless, we probably should go by this. My point is, I think that we should spend the money it costs and quarterly remind people of how to recycle. And I think the way it's going to get to people the best is as an insert in the Echo. Or in the, in one of the others, the free papers that we don't use.
I'm good with that. Anybody else? What do you think?
Otherwise, it's, people
No, it's
aren't
This
going,
woman new to the area?
Nope,
So
she
after
said-
3 years, she still didn't know what went in the.
she said they've been picking up her recyclable, no problem since it started. And quite frankly, 3 paper plates and a couple market bags, that's the only problem with the
That sounds
recycling?
very odd to me.
Don't worry, we'll get the call about it costing us more to pick it up, because we're spending time rifling through the
I got a call downstairs when I was answering the phone to Gail, someone on the 1000 block at Laconia Road, same thing happened to them, they rifled through, said this doesn't go, this doesn't go, this doesn't go,
And they rejected the whole
and they
thing.
rejected the entire thing. I got the same phone call this afternoon.
Could we, seeing that we're getting less recycling and
Stop picking
more
it up?
trash, could we do, if we're gonna send that out, also maybe send some type of flyer explaining to people the benefits of the recycling and keeping our MSW down and what's going on with it, a little blurb about that?
Sure.
But we do still have a recycle committee. We haven't been meeting on a regular.
They were green committee.
Okay, and recycling is part of the purview for that. It consists of me and Arthur Demas and Tim Pearson and Scott Davis. And apparently it's time that we have another meeting.
I don't think we have time to wait for your meeting, but
Well,
you
not
take
for
it
not for
over.
what you're talking about, but we need to address that. We have some preliminary figures from the recycle thing, so.
I suggest, I'll work with Joyce if you want, and we'll create something so it's not all on Joyce.
Get it done.
Like a full-page insert or a half-page?
I'm talking about, I think it's gonna have to be, so this is what's on the website,
Yep. Full page.
but, there's more to it than this. So we may be able to not just send this specifically, although I do like the back part. I think we can reduce this,
And then they won't be able to read it.
Copied properly. It should be, yeah, on the
Print
colored
off
one.
like
it
this,
didn't.
Catherine.
yeah, so I'm thinking of something like
You
this.
can still do both sides.
So which is really a 4-page. So it'd be a this.
Yep.
So, it's the big sheets we have downstairs folded in
I think
half.
there's some money left in the recycle.
$200.
committee line. Take it up.
We didn't know if the Green Committee had something in mind for it,
We
so.
have not been meeting on a regular basis.
All right, so I'll try to work with you this week to come up with something. I think we better get it out there if we want people to recycle.
Sounds good.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Anything else?
Yep. Couple of quick things. Resident on Church Street, earlier this year, DOT paved the swale on the lower end. He was asking if we might look at asking them to do it on the upper end too. you look next to the pavement where it's, taking, huh?
On Church Street?
On
You mean
Church
where
Street.
they fixed the catch basin?
And they also paved a
Yeah.
swale area, continue paving the swale up to reduce
that
the
that was-
erosion.
That was in front of Beverly,
Yeah.
Haynes, on
Wasn't that
31
us?
Church Street.
Yep.
No, that was DOT. It's
Right.
DOT's catch basin, and it
Right.
was,
It's the,
it was broken. It wasn't in good shape. They needed to fix it, and at the same time, they did some water
who
diversion.
handles the drainage?
District 3?
Because it's
District 3.
summer,
Yes, District 3.
so.
We need to fix that sidewalk down Church Street because, and I told them, Bill Rollins went up and looked at it, which is why the catch basin got fixed, because you could see that the water coming off of Church Street is eroding our sidewalk.
Yep.
And at some point, it crosses it, hits a berm one of the neighbors made in his driveway, and then comes back out, but it doesn't get to the catch basin, so I think that's probably why they did the swale. Where on the street do they want another swale? Up further?
Up further.
By the
Seems
church?
Yeah,
Beyond the church?
just beyond the church,
First house past it?
most likely.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Another thing is, since
I know
I'm
the
back to
players.
work full-time and Madam Chair is gonna be out of commission for a bit, would it be possible to possibly have Selectman Dawson assist us with highway? To make sure the boys have a plan for the day, whatever, answer any questions they may have, you can always call me and run
Yeah, I can do that. I'm up that early. Just, you guys will have to tell me what you want to do. I'm just gonna be your mouthpiece.
There's a list that was started in the office, they may be adding to it.
All right, so just call me if you think of anything, and
Yep.
I'll be your mouthpiece, and,
Yep.
Okay, if you want, I can probably meet you there Friday, because I have Friday off.
okay.
What I was doing is when things would come in, I'd email Peter and
I gotta-
copy Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'll just email.
Copy
you,
us all.
Why don't you copy all the board?
Copy all the boards.
Sure.
Well, they should know.
To know what was going on.
They should know what's going on.
Why wouldn't we all be copied?
Yeah, you should know.
read it.
Yeah, they should all know.
They,
think. Right?
the guys finished the T-hop where the flowers are gonna go in the middle. But if you notice on the edge where the sidewalk is, if you just pushed against one of those boards, it's split all the way down, and the only thing holding it is a nail,
Barn spikes, yeah.
and it's just,
Whole nails?
rotten. So the guys asked if they could replace that to make it all consistently look nice at the same time.
Yeah.
Peter said we need another pallet of the wood. It's about $200.
$200 for
I
a
see.
pallet of about 40.
I say yes.
I do
Will
too.
that do the whole
Yes.
Yeah, oh,
little
yeah,
island?
we'll probably
Yeah.
have some leftovers that we can use on
Well,
other projects.
there you go. That works for me.
And
Yeah,
what they'll do is, I think they'll need the 1 ton of the big trailer to bring them over. They'll pressure wash, that way they look almost the same throughout.
Good.
And
Yeah.
it'll be a nice,
nice project.
when it's done.
Yep.
Should we be, are we ready for
Something
planting in that?
Well, you gotta put the dirt in first, and they are ready for planting.
Right?
'Cause
We're
I
ready
can-
for fall planting, don't
All
worry.
right, well, I can start digging up.
What you might do is
I
hold
wouldn't,
off.
until they put the dirt in.
Oh, no, these suckers will, yeah, you can dig these up.
What you may do then, Catherine has mentioned to the boys that next Tuesday, they put the loam into the part that's completed. Since we're trying to do work on the days
Okay.
Tilton House is closed. So let them-
So Catherine,
So you're
do
gonna
you
go ahead and
have all
order
the
the
plants for that?
wood?
Yep,
Okay, because if
They
you
should.
need extras,
Just send
I've
them
got
over.
a yard full of
Call them.
lilies and hostas and
Okay.
all sorts of things.
all right,
And then Kyoko constantly is moving things in, out, and around, so.
Okay.
If you need extra stuff, let me know.
so next Tuesday, put dirt in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
and Joe
Have the
has
boys call,
Call the
or you
place for the
can
wood
CWS in Andover,
CWS
Yeah.
equals
that the fence people,
more beams,
we
wood?
want, we
Come to
want a
get another
pallet
pallet.
of the guardrail posts.
They'll go over and get them.
And can you ask them to swap the blue car for the black car?
Yeah.
And remind them to tighten the handle on
Swap cars,
Bulkhead. Tighten the handle on the bulkhead.
yep. Got it. Welcome. Okay. Okay, next Tuesday, dirt. Joe has what? Plants.
Are you doing Tilton?
More guardrail posts. Swap cars, tighten handle on bulkhead, got it.
Do
So
you have any
I'll,
more? They're gonna
Yeah, I'll get with
trim, we got permission for the trim the senior center and brush up there, but that can wait for another week or two. That's it, you're done? Any more? That's it?
Just, when we were looking to buy the cruiser, we asked for, to get the other car that we're taking off the road checked out and get inspected and to get a copy of that report. And I haven't seen it, and I got told it was done by a private company, and they don't have the time to produce a report. We did this before, and we took a car off the road. We put it down at the Public Works Department, saying it was inoperative, couldn't ride it, death trap.
yep.
And then, 2 years later, we found out, or a year later, there was nothing wrong with it. We can use it, we put it back on the road, and we're using it. So if we're gonna take a car off the road, we should pay the $40 and get a safety inspection done on it, so we can answer to voters or residents that say, well, we got it safety inspected, and it said this, 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 and this, and this. It was gonna cost too much. So,
There's no reason why we can't have those reports. And John specifically, but all of us have been asking for this police car information for at least 5.5 years. And it's gotten a little bit better, but I don't understand why we have such a hard time getting them to comply with our questions.
I say we come together on the 8th, or in a selectmen meeting really, really soon, all of us with what we want to see from them for these cars, and then it's going to be up to us to say, where's the report?
I'd like to settle the previous one that's still open.
Well, and that too, but I mean, to go
Primarily,
forward, no surprises, this is what you're going to need, and we need to see it, and then we're going to have to decide how often do we want these, monthly, quarterly? I'd like to see monthly.
I think John's right, I think we should just get a second opinion on the vehicle.
Bring it up,
Bring
pay
it
the
up,
$40,
even if it's
have
up
it
to-
inspected.
Right, even if it's up to Rusty's and just say, hey, period, but we want a written report of what's wrong with
I
it.
think AutoServe.
AutoServe will give you very thorough.
Official inspection,
Rusty,
like it's a
but-
state
All right,
inspection.
that's fine, AutoServe, just bring it up to AutoServe.
$40 and
Which car?
It's the 6.
The one we're replacing,
6C.
but I don't think we should drop the ball on our list of stuff, information we want them to compile all year.
I think we're gonna make a difference, though, if
I
we
think
get
some
the
things are
other
gonna
person,
change.
it's gonna change. You're gonna have a
But it's the
very
police
thorough-
department that's got to
thorough-
do a lot of this, and they're not.
It's all gonna be part of the
We'll see,
report.
but I think we should have a list.
you set a goal for November 1st, I think we'll be on target.
Okay, the other thing is, this is to think about, Joyce, and just to put in your thinking cap. Next year is the 25th year for the Island concerts, and I think that we should really put our thinking caps on and do something special. I mean, the concerts series each year bring the communities, all our communities, not just Northfield and Tilton, a lot of communities together. And we really need to think about
Pig roast.
working with Allison and pig roast. Working with Allison and doing something really special one of those nights, opening night or whatever.
The railing is starting to look a little,
I was noticing that the bridge needs a paint job.
yeah, the rails need a
So
scraping
we
and
do
painting.
the east side and Northfield does the west, or how do we divvy it up? or-
Get the top, they can get the ballasts.
We estimate what it's going to cost, we send it over to Northfield, and they pay half, or we pay half.
See what they say.
So if we're going to have Public Works do it, they split the cost for the paint, they have a guy, we have a guy. That's the way it's supposed to work. But you have to let them know ahead of time, you can't do the work first and send them a bill.
That's right.
And I wouldn't like that either.
All right, if there's no more business to come before us in the public session, there is.
The agreement,
Oh, yes.
I sent that, it's the same one we had before.
Yep,
That
I'm fine with this, I've already looked it over. We just sign it?
Well, sign one that doesn't have my name on it.
Trash.
Does that one have my name on it? No?
Is
This
the
is the,
Wolfboro office really the closest one?
Yes.
The one that says Joyce?
Is he the one that's in Exeter?
Salem.
Now, what about,
Exeter's further than Wolfboro, so.
no.
Yeah.
Peter Phillips, my old
He's in Salem? Yeah.
The lawyer,
Wolfboro's
you know.
closer. Although it's a toss-up, really. I can get to Salem in less than an hour.
a lawyer.
I can't get to Wolfboro in less than an hour.
We're gonna take the other one first.
Yeah.
Make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, personnel.
Personnel.
What was the other one? What's that number? Union.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Okay, we are ready is on, the time being 7:50. I can make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session.
He started too.
Permanently.
Well, part of that is going to end up being public.
I need
Still
y'all.
So the part that's non-public will be permanently, and the part that can be revealed will be later.
What she said.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Aye.
You're all gonna stay.
Yes.
I gotta run down and get that conditional offer thing for all.
We all gotta sit here?
Yeah.
OMG.
Make a motion that we allow the chair or the vice chair, or the vice chair, to sign the Franklin Savings Bank purchase documents for the cruiser, police
Second.
cruiser.
Second.
All
Yes.
those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Ready?
No,
Ready?
we're waiting to sign
No,
the
we're
document.
waiting for,
We're just gonna sign a document.
Oh, we can go downstairs
You
to
got
sign the
authorization
document.
to sign.
No, we already did. We already made the
I know, you already
motion.
made the authorization, so.
Come on, spew the words.
you just told me no.
No, you can. We,
Motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
Yay!
We already approved it earlier, so we're just signing the information.